Hey, I'm Brenda and in this video, I'm going to be talking about personal coaching. Why might you want it? Is it right for you? What to look for if you're looking for a coach? And truthfully, why I believe this is the number one fastest way to get success in your business. So let's get into it. Okay, so I've personally been around coaching my entire life. I used to be a gymnast, an upper level elite gymnast, and I started that when I was around 10 years old. And so I had coaches the entire way up, all the way through college. I became a gymnastics coach with the little ones, and then all the way up to the very good gymnast. I was coaching them. So that was always ingrained in me to, why I would have a coach and how to be a good coach and that. But when I shifted over into entrepreneurism, and I really started down this road of business, that was not something that I personally ever knew. I was an elementary school teacher, and so making a business, growing this entire new career shift was very different for me. And I did not understand in the beginning how important having an actual coach would be until I came up against a brick wall. I absolutely did. Me personal, I was working on this online stuff for a few months and started having a little bit of baby success. And then I realized if I wanted to go after my dreams, if I really wanted to go out there and just crush everything that I really thought might be possible, there was no way in the world I was going to be able to do that on my own. And so the first thing that I did was I actually hired a personal coach to help me actually talk on the phone. I was terrified to talk to people on the phone, absolutely terrified. I paid $2,000 for 4 phone calls, and that money was just, I couldn't believe I had done that. It was so incredibly expensive. But looking back, 10 years later, it was the number one thing that took my business to the next level. Absolutely. And so remembering that the next time, looking back, I had another massive jump in my business was the exact same thing. I found a mentor, I invested, and I really had massive quantum leaps in my business, earning 6 figures so much faster than I know I ever would have. And so my personal experience with having a personal coach and mentor has been dramatic. And for the many people that we work with in our network, the people that we collaborate with, the 6, 7, 8 figure earners, every one of them also will attribute their success to having a mentor. So that just kind of being aside, I absolutely believe in it, but what about for you? Why would you want to have a personal coach? And if you are thinking about it, or maybe now, it's coming into your head, be like, wow, that'd be nice, but I don't have that kind of money. Really thinking about what to look for. Is this right for you? When should you do that in your business? And so that's what I want to get into right now. All right. And so the first thing that I consider, actually here, I do a lot of personal coaching. People pay us a lot of money to coach them. And so that's kind of where I'm coming from now. I was kind of telling you my backstory, but now kind of going forward, as a business coach, as a consultant, as a personal coach to help people get in there and get the job done, one of the things that I always consider is that, yes, if you're having trouble with a few things, this is right for you, because a personal coach, for one, they're going to give you a lot of direction. And that's really key, especially in entrepreneurs and when you don't really have anyone telling you what to do and you're kind of just going down this road. It's really easy to go down a road and start to go like this off target without ever realizing it. And that coach will keep you right on target right there. So they're going to help you create better goals. They're going to help you take action to actually achieve those goals because you're going to have accountability. So a lot of times we kind of know what we want, we put the goals out there, but life gets in the way and our mind can justify anything to be okay with why it didn't get done. But if you have to show up to a personal coaching session and you're like, yeah, I just didn't get that done, there's like this whole weight that's kind of on your shoulders to be like, well, here's why. And it may be a, legit excuse, but it may be just an excuse. Either way, it's an excuse why that didn't get done. And so a personal coach, could certainly have compassion, but also really be there to keep you moving forward. one of the things that I consider for me when I'm coaching students, I love having like a first few calls, because it's kind of like that discovery session where we're really talking and I'm asking a lot of questions, because what I'm doing is I'm asking and I'm listening and I'm waiting for their passion to come through. I'm waiting for their excitement to come through. I'm waiting for their doubt to show up so that I can kind of pinpoint and be like, all right, these are your strengths. This is where your passion is. This is where you want to stay away from, and kind of guide that plan off of their natural strengths. And that's really important, because yourself, if you're building your business, you might very well be like, well, you know what, I'm pretty good at this, or I'm really not good at doing that. And you kind of just can stay in that box a little bit. But if you have someone else that comes and enters into your world and just gives you maybe a perception change, or gives you a little compliment of like, wow, you're really good at that, when you didn't really think you were, because it was just something that's always come easy to you, they can really help you play to your strengths. And what is that going to do? That's going to help you get your business results, your goals, commission, sales, money, freedom a lot faster. So that's kind of, in my opinion, why I loved having a personal coach, because of the fact that it did help me. I saw those results. I've seen it happen in so many people, as well as when I am coaching, being able to watch them stay a lot more on target, on task, because they're working in their skill set and they have that clarity. That's a big thing, okay? So what should you look for when you're thinking about maybe going to say, you know what, I do want someone to coach? Because the reality is there's a lot of different coaching personalities out there. There's like the hardcore, kick you in the butt, get this done right now, no excuses. There's also the, all right, listen, sometimes tough love does not work on you. And so I'm going to have some compassion. I'm going to really dive into what stories are holding you back. I'm going to make you accountable to things, but let's unpack why you're having such a hard time with this. The psychology in the business. Having a coach understand some of that and bring it to light, that's a really big deal. If you're really kind of being scattered a lot and you're really having hard time getting focused, if you have that hardcore coach that's just get it done, but like you're working really hard and you're really trying and you can't quite figure out, maybe you do need that person who can kind of understand maybe some underlying emotions or some underlying stories or hidden beliefs that you're having that are actually holding you back. And if you can get those to come up to the surface, bam, you deal with them, and then it's time to move forward, and then you can skyrocket. So understanding the personality of the coach and if it meshes with you, that's a big one. And truthfully, you're not always going to know that ahead of time until you start working with someone. And so if you're considering working with a coach or finding a mentor, do your due diligence, pay for some of their smaller end products, get into their communities, listen to their trainings. Do you vibe with them? Do they say things that you just really are aligned and relate to? That's going to keep going. And so that's something, the first thing to be aware of. The second thing to be aware of, thinking of, be considerate of, or conscious of when you're looking for a coach is, what is your actual goal? What is it that you want to do? And I don't mean like money monetarily or something specific in your business. Really, what is it that you want? And making sure that the coach that you're willing to pay and spend time with has actually had the success the way that you want, but by doing it the same way. And kind of what I mean by that is, let's just take this online business model right here as an example. And so if you really, 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 really enjoy doing like content marketing, you like doing Facebook Lives, you like going on to Instagram and social media and building a following and really, interacting with those people, if you enjoy that process and that's part of your business and having conversations, which is a good model, by the way, and you hire a coach who is strictly data systems, and they're like, all right, you know what, that stuff's all well and good, but you know what you need to be doing? You need to be doing Facebook ads. You need to be putting this out there. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing this. And they really pull your shift. They take your whole focus and say it needs to be done this way, because they never did the social media type of thing. They never did that. They don't really invest in that. They don't pay a lot of attention to that. There's a lot of different ways to be successful. There's a lot of different ways that you could build your business. And so thinking about the fact of, how do I want to do this? And will this coach actually pull me in the right direction? Because there's a concept of teaching versus experience, and teaching and coaching with experience. There's also the concept of teaching and coaching with theory. And that's probably the other biggest thing I would say to stay away from, is that someone who knows all of this theory, theoretically you should be doing this, theoretically this should be working, and yeah, this is exactly how it should be done, but they didn't actually do it, they weren't in the trenches doing that. That can be a red flag, because of the fact that theory doesn't always work out in theory, right? It's the people that are in the grass, working, getting their hands dirty, having success with it, and actually doing it the way that you want to. That's the best of both worlds. And so those are just a few things to consider if you're really thinking about, hiring a coach or getting involved with someone who actually can help you. And what does that process actually look like? So you know what? I might be wanting to hire a coach, and I'm not talking about a fitness coach or a nutritional coach. You can take these concepts for sure on that. But also really specifically for business, what does that look like? Usually you want to be in some type of at least a month, 2-month type of program, 6 weeks, 8-week type of program, because of the fact that 1 or 2 sessions, it's not really going to cut it to have someone coach you. Really, if you're just getting a one-off session, you're really just getting a consulting call, which is great. It can really, if you started to veer off this way, it can pull you back, and that's great. But to really help, build that relationship, for them to get to know you and to get the results, to actually put into action the results, so that you can get the habits that you need to build this business, and you can get the dedication and the accountability and all the stuff that you need to really make this coaching worthwhile. You do want to have something that's at least 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. That's just it's almost been proven that that's actually ideal. If you're going into something any longer than that, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, a year, sometimes that can get a little bit too long. And so just making sure that the people that you are, jumping into something like that it's very, systematic, and you're really working on your goals throughout the quarters of the year. So just kind of keeping that in mind. And so hopefully that's giving you a little bit of insight as to, is it time for me to get a coach? Actually, I didn't talk about that. Is it time? Here's the thing. If you're finding yourself spinning your wheels a little bit too much, or a lot, if you're finding yourself doing a lot of extra work and the money's not coming, or you're generating the leads and the sales aren't coming, or you just have a breakdown and you're like, I don't know how to fix this, right? If you're at that stage, it's time to hire a coach, because you're just going to waste a lot of time and money, honestly. And that brings in the cost of personal coaching can be expensive, but I'll tell you what else is way more. It's way more expensive and frustrating and overwhelmed to not hire that coach just because of the money, because eventually you're going to spend all that money on a training. You're going to spend all that on your time trying to figure it out, when you would just get there faster. So I'm just going to kind of say that on there. And so if you're finding yourself like, yeah, this is me, that's really going to help, I highly, highly recommend having a coach get you to the next level, okay? Just to help you get through that. The second time I would really invest in coaching, and this is me personally, and we've certainly done this, is if you're stagnant. You've kind of plateaued. You're like, you know what, I've done really well. I know what I'm doing. I don't really have the questions. I know what my money generating activities are. I do have clarity. I don't know how to go higher. I don't know how to scale bigger, because there comes a point where this happens in the beginning, but it also happens later on, where you don't know what you don't know. In the beginning, you're like, I'm just following this process, and you don't even know what you don't know to be able to get better, right? And so you finally get to that stage, especially hiring a coach. They're going to help you get to that next level. But you're going to continuously kind of go like this. If you keep growing, you're going to plateau a little bit. That happens. You get to the stage of where I know what I'm doing. You get a little bit complacent. You're like, my business is going okay. And then you're like, gosh, I want to take it to the next level. It's time for me to scale. I'm doing a lot of content marketing, but I don't really understand paid ads, and I don't understand how to do that, and I'm tired of figuring that. I'm just going to go hire someone to help me with that process, right? So to scale your business, if you're ready to take it to the next level, that would be when I also absolutely recommend to actually get into some type of personal coaching. So that being said, where are you right now? Where are you in your business, right? And so do you have complete clarity on what you want to do next, how you're actually going to do that, and what makes the most sense for you? Do you have clarity on that? Because if not, that's where we see people stall out all the time. It's just clarity. You might be frustrated, you might be overwhelmed, or you might know what you need to be doing, but you just can't get it done because you can't fit it in. All of these things are great reasons to have someone come in and just help you because of the fact that they're just going to help you have those quantum leaps. That's what happens to so many people, okay? And so I would like to encourage you that if you're interested in getting personal coaching for your business, whether you are brand new getting started or whether you are actually plateauing or you want to scale, that is something I absolutely do. That is something that we do in our business. We have coaches who coach for us. We also have us who actually does the coaching. We have masterminds. We have all different levels depending on what people actually need. And we also have just a foot in the door to our personal coaching online marketing training platform, which is a video library with hundreds of hours of videos specifically dedicated to the different parts of a business for the internet marketing and for entrepreneurship and tech tutorials. We have that, but you also get direct access to Justin and I. So we do have that right there, as well as, actual personal coaching and 6-week programs. And so if you're interested and say, what does that actually look like for me? I encourage you to click the link below to learn more about what Maverick Monthly is. It's your foot into the door. It's a foot into our world, into our online marketing, where we go in there and we train every single week on brand new topics. You get to ask us questions. You get to put your questions into the group and basically get that hand-holding questions asked without paying the big bucks. But if you're really ready to get one-on-one, that's completely different. That's our Foundations of Freedom, and that takes us into the mastermind. And so we do have options. And so if you're stuck, if you're wanting more results in your business, if you're not earning the sales that you're trying to, or if you're just not getting, the next step, or you're not clear on what that is, even if it's not with us, even if it's not with me, I highly encourage you to get someone who's been further along than where you are so that you can see through their eyes and say, okay, this is what I need to do. Personal coaching can dramatically change results a lot faster, and that's personally why I think it is the number one way to have success in your business fast. All right, so take some action on this, jump in, get inside our group if it makes sense for you. Otherwise, at least go take the next step in your business, and good luck to you, and I'll see you on the next video.